In the grand theater of the canine world, amidst the noble German shepherds and goofy golden retrievers, stands a 5-pound warrior with the audacity of a Roman emperor, the Chihuahua. They see themselves not as a dog, but as a tiny, furry deity deserving of worship and warm laps. Often dismissed as a yapping accessory or a purse puppy, the life of a Chihuahua is far from the glamorous existence we imagine. It's a daily saga of epic proportions, a constant battle against a world not built to their scale. They navigate life with a fierce spirit, trapped in a body that's one clumsy misstep away from a vet visit. This is the untold story of their valiant, often hilarious struggles. A Chihuahua's body is a masterpiece of delicate engineering, seemingly held together by sheer willpower and a few strands of spunky DNA. Their bones are less like a sturdy canine skeleton and more like a collection of pretzel sticks. This makes everyday life a high-stakes obstacle course. A leap from the sofa isn't a joyful expression of doggy glee, it's a calculated, death-defying stunt that could end with a trip to the orthopedic surgeon. An overly enthusiastic hug from a well-meaning toddler can feel like being squeezed by a hydraulic press. Owners live in a constant state of low-grade panic, flinching at every clumsy step or near miss. The Chihuahua, meanwhile, carries on with the unearned confidence of a heavyweight boxer, completely oblivious to the fact that its entire skeletal structure could be undone by a poorly aimed frisbee. Often dismissed as small dog syndrome, a Chihuahua's occasional ferocity is not simple aggression. It's a masterclass in psychological warfare. When you're the size of a running shoe, you can't afford to be subtle. This isn't anger. It's a preemptive strike against a world of giant, clumsy beasts, also known as humans and golden retrievers. Their ferocious bark is a carefully crafted auditory illusion designed to convince potential threats that they are, in fact, a 200-pound beast trapped in a fun-sized body. They must project an aura of unhinged fury to avoid being stepped on, overlooked, or worst of all, cooed at condescendingly. They don't have a chip on their shoulder. Their entire body is the chip. It's a survival tactic, a tiny declaration of, "I am small, hear me roar," or at least yip menacingly. There is no greater indignity for a proud canine spirit than being relegated to the status of a living handbag accessory. The purse dog phenomenon reduces a creature of noble, if tiny, wolf lineage to a furry keychain. While the ride might be comfortable, it comes at a great cost: the forfeiture of leg privileges and doggy dignity. From the dark, lint-filled abyss of a tote bag, the world is a dizzying blur of swinging leather and muffled sounds. The Chihuahua yearns to sniff, to explore, to mark territory, but instead it's carted around like a sentient wallet. This life of passive transport denies them the fundamental dog right to walk on their own four paws, creating a pampered but profoundly unfulfilled canine who has forgotten the simple joy of chasing a leaf on the pavement. Many Chihuahuas are born with a Molera, a soft spot on their skull that often doesn't fully close. Think of it as a permanent cranial sunroof, a built-in vulnerability that adds a frisson of danger to everyday life. For these dogs, a gentle bunk on a coffee table isn't just a surprise, it's a potential neurological event. This anatomical quirk means their brain is protected by little more than skin and a tuft of hair, making them the living embodiment of the phrase "handle with care." Owners must become hyper-vigilant, essentially serving as a full-time security detail for their dog's head. The Chihuahua, blissfully unaware of its delicate dome, continues to dive headfirst under furniture, leaving its human to watch with bated breath and a tiny custom-made helmet on standby. To a Chihuahua, our world is a land of giants. A simple walk across the living room is a trek through a forest of towering table legs and monstrous sofa mountains. A dropped crumb is not a snack, it's a boulder to be investigated. Every footstep from a human sounds like an impending earthquake, and a closing door is a deafening thunderclap. They live their lives at ankle level, perpetually looking up and trying to make sense of the colossal chaos unfolding above them. This low-angle perspective fosters a unique blend of bravery and perpetual anxiety. They must be constantly on high alert, navigating a landscape where the terrain can shift without warning, and a friendly pat can feel like an asteroid impact. It's a big, scary world out there, and they're just trying not to get squished. The Chihuahua's tiny frame is prone to a host of skeletal melodramas, most notably luxating patellas. This condition, where the kneecap casually pops in and out of place, results in a signature skip that looks like a quirky dance move but is actually a moment of orthopedic failure. It's their body's way of saying, "Hold on, we need to reboot this leg." Add to this the risk of hip dysplasia and fragile, easily fractured bones, and you have a recipe for orthopedic vet bills. Their spirit says, "Let's climb Mount Everest," but their joints say, "Perhaps a gentle stroll to the food bowl is more our speed today." Managing their physical activity is a delicate balance between letting them be the feisty dogs they are and preventing them from performing a stunt that their tiny skeleton simply cannot support. Chihuahuas operate at a different thermal frequency than the rest of the world, possessing the body fat percentage of a supermodel and originating from the warm climates of Mexico. They view any temperature below 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius, as an impending ice age. A gentle breeze is a polar vortex, and air conditioning is a form of cruel and unusual punishment. This is why they are often found shivering, even indoors, a state of perpetual trembling that is part anxiety and part desperate attempt to generate body heat. Their extensive wardrobe of sweaters, hoodies, and fleece-lined jackets isn't a fashion statement, it's a survival kit. They are solar-powered creatures, constantly seeking sunbeams and warm laps, living a never-ending quest to find a cozy spot and avoid freezing into a tiny dogsicle. The Chihuahua's metabolism runs faster than a hummingbird's wings, burning through energy at an astonishing rate. This makes them highly susceptible to hypoglycemia, or low blood sugar. For them, missing a meal isn't just an inconvenience, it can be a genuine medical emergency. Their tiny bodies have minimal fat reserves, so their internal battery can drain with alarming speed, leading to a drama drop, a sudden bout of weakness, disorientation, and lethargy. This is why Chihuahua owners often carry emergency snacks or high-calorie supplements. It's the constant, nerve-wracking task of ensuring this tiny, high-performance engine is always properly fueled, lest it sputter out at the most inconvenient moment, usually right after refusing the very food it desperately needs. An average home is a veritable death trap for a Chihuahua. These tiny dogs are masters of camouflage, blending in with rugs, blankets, and piles of laundry, making them prime targets for being accidentally stepped on or sat upon. The space under a reclining chair is a death trap, a dropped grocery bag is a potential avalanche, and an open door is an invitation to a great and very dangerous escape. They are small enough to be mistaken for a toy by a larger dog or seen as prey by a neighborhood hawk. A Chihuahua owner develops a special kind of situational awareness, a Chihuahua scan they perform before taking a step, closing a door, or plopping onto the couch. It's a life of constant vigilance to protect a creature that seems to have a PhD in finding new and creative ways to get into peril. A Chihuahua doesn't just love its owner, it bonds to them with the intensity of superglue. They often choose one person as their designated deity and proceed to worship at their feet for the rest of their lives. This creates a bond that is incredibly deep, but also a breeding ground for severe separation anxiety. To a bonded Chihuahua, their human leaving the room is not a minor event, it's an apocalyptic abandonment. They become a furry shadow, following you from room to room, their tiny face pressed against the bathroom door, whining as if you've departed on a 3-year voyage. This Velcro dog syndrome is endearing until you realize you can no longer use the restroom in peace. Their entire universe revolves around their person, and when that person is gone, their world crumbles into a trembling, yapping mess. One of the greatest struggles for a Chihuahua is the constant denial of their own identity. They are dogs. They have the heart of a wolf, the instincts of a hunter, and the desire to do dog things. Yet they are so often treated like living dolls or fragile ornaments. They are dressed in ridiculous outfits, carried when they want to walk, and sheltered from the big, beautiful, stinky world they want to explore. A Chihuahua yearns to sniff that interesting patch of grass, to dig a tiny, futile hole, and to bark at a squirrel with the righteous fury of its ancestors. By infantilizing them and shielding them from every experience, we deny them their dogness. They don't want to be a permanent baby, they want to be a dog, just a very, very small version of one. The Chihuahua's adorable, apple-shaped head and short snout can, unfortunately, come with a set of built-in health problems. Many suffer from a collapsed trachea, a condition where their windpipe is weak and can flatten, leading to a distinctive goose honk cough. It's a sound that is both comical and terrifying for owners. Furthermore, their tiny hearts are prone to murmurs and other cardiac issues, like mitral valve disease. These congenital conditions mean that what looks like a perfectly healthy, energetic dog might be managing a serious internal struggle. It's a reminder that beneath that spunky exterior is a delicate system that requires careful monitoring and often expensive veterinary care to keep their tiny engine running smoothly. For some reason, many people believe that a dog under 10 pounds is exempt from the basic rules of canine etiquette. This leads to a massive socialization and training deficit. While a German Shepherd's growl is seen as a problem to be corrected, a Chihuahua's is often dismissed as cute or sassy. This is a profound disservice to the dog. Without proper training and early socialization, they can become fearful, reactive, and genuinely aggressive because they haven't been taught how to navigate the world or interact politely with other dogs and people. They are left to believe their own hype, that they are, in fact, tiny, wrathful gods whose demands must be met instantly. A well-trained Chihuahua is a confident, happy dog. An untrained one is a trembling, barking tyrant. The term teacup is not an official breed size, it's a deceptive marketing ploy used by unethical breeders to sell unnaturally small and often profoundly unhealthy Chihuahuas at exorbitant prices. These breeders intentionally select the runts of litters, perpetuating a cycle of genetic weakness. Teacup Chihuahuas are ticking time bombs of health problems, from severe hypoglycemia and hydrocephalus, water on the brain, to heart defects and bones so fragile they can break from a short fall. The public's demand for ever tinier dogs fuels this cruel industry, creating a life of suffering for animals bred to be nothing more than a fleeting miniature novelty. The struggle of these dogs begins before they are even born, victims of a dangerous obsession with size over health. The Chihuahua's laser-focused loyalty is one of its most defining traits, but it can also be a heavy burden. When a Chihuahua chooses its person, it often views every other human, including spouses, children, and friendly neighbors, with suspicion and contempt. They become tiny, furry bodyguards, appointing themselves the sole protector of their chosen one. This can make for awkward social situations where your dog is trying to protect you from your own partner trying to sit on the couch. They are not being mean. Their loyalty is just so absolute that it leaves no room for anyone else. Living with a one-person dog means constantly managing a 4-pound security chief who has decided your personal space is a high security zone and everyone else is a potential threat. It's a heartbreaking irony. Despite their popularity, Chihuahuas and their mixes are one of the most common breeds found in animal shelters, particularly in the southern United States. People are drawn to their tiny size and big personality, but are often completely unprepared for the reality. They adopt a cute puppy, expecting a low-maintenance lap warmer, and instead get a demanding, fragile, and often yappy dog that needs consistent training, socialization, and specialized care. When the reality of house training difficulties, separation anxiety, or small dog syndrome sets in, many owners surrender them. Their unique needs and intense personalities, the very things that make them special, are often the ticket to a one-way trip to the shelter when placed in the wrong hands. A Chihuahua's mouth is a classic case of trying to fit 32 teeth into a space designed for about 12. Their tiny jaws lead to severe overcrowding, which is a paradise for plaque and tartar buildup. This makes them exceptionally prone to periodontal disease, tooth decay, and tooth loss at a young age. Consequently, their breath can achieve a level of toxicity that could wilt houseplants and peel paint. Regular and often expensive dental cleanings under anesthesia become a non-negotiable part of their healthcare. It's a constant battle to maintain their oral hygiene, a struggle hidden behind a tiny mouth that houses a world of dental drama. Neglecting their teeth isn't just about bad breath, it can lead to systemic health issues affecting their entire body. Owning a Chihuahua is not for the faint of heart or light of wallet. The financial commitment goes far beyond a bag of tiny bite kibble. There's the extensive wardrobe for their cold intolerance, the specialty vet care for their laundry list of potential ailments, dental, cardiac, skeletal, and the emergency funds for when they inevitably eat something they shouldn't or take a swan dive off the ottoman. Emotionally, it's a roller coaster. You experience the fierce joy of their cuddles and the gut-wrenching terror every time they cough weirdly or shiver a little too hard. It's the constant, draining worry that comes with loving a creature so small and fragile, a 4-pound soul that has taken up the largest space in your heart and your budget. So the next time you see a Chihuahua, whether it's peeking out of a purse or strutting down the sidewalk in a tiny leather jacket, look past the memes and the stereotypes. See the fierce heart, the fragile body, and the colossal personality packed into that miniature frame. These are not accessories. They are complex, sensitive dogs with a unique set of struggles that demand patience, empathy, and a good sense of humor. They need owners who will train them, protect them, and respect their inherent dogness. In return, they will reward you with a loyalty so intense it borders on obsession and a love so big it can barely be contained in their tiny chests. Let's give these little warriors the understanding and care they so richly deserve.